Welcome to SGDC. I am your step dancing, maybe, host, Mateo. Show your stuff. The first one to show his stuff is Andreas.
How do I get rid of this?
This is your stuff.
Okay.
Now it's just us.
Nice.
Laden.
Yes, not us. But first, I think, yeah, this is not us as well, but it is us. And brain stuff, because I said I was gonna try and do this, but I don't have any inspiration about this is me or whatever, so I'm just doing a current update. I currently enjoy making my game.
Yeah.
I really enjoy having a dog, and I like you guys. And I bought new underpants, they're in the mail, and I'm sure this will lead to great things. Basically the only thing I have to show really that is maybe interesting is the logo has been polished a little bit, but it's not finished. It's just, you know, it's a work in progress, which is great for SGDC. And I have some news about Miriam. She is changing her membership status to not us. She's basically gonna come on board full time and become a rev share partner, and we're just gonna kick the art needs of my game in the ass. And today we had a discussion that I didn't want to sum up, so I'm just showing you how she visualized what we were talking about, and I was like, this is great, I understand. And I also got the hidden joke. Can anyone see the hidden joke? I guess you need to know some post-processing stuff. Yeah, I actually got it because I saw this and I asked her, what post-processing thing is LMAO? So that's the one that doesn't belong. And yeah, questions. You didn't have an answer, but you don't have questions either? Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool. Now, to share a progress update about Who Done It is Mauricio and
Hi. Okay. Okay. Well, hi.
It's been 7 weeks.
And despite popular opinion, our game continues to exist.
Okay, so we had our first playtest on Friday. It was really good. We didn't get an existential crisis about our game because most of the feedback we got was feedback we were expecting and things we were planning to improve. Morale is good.
Yeah.
Playtime was anywhere between 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours, which is insane. It's only the first 3 stages of our game. I have no idea how long the game will be. I don't know if it's like 1/3 of the game or 1/4 or 1/2. We'll find out.
We're scared.
Yeah, we're scared. But it means that we could focus now on like polished stuff and quality of life and just like actually making the game come together. The first thing we'll highlight, I guess, is just boring gameplay stuff, things that aren't really easy to list, making the puzzles more puzzly, fixing like all the little information bits that were in the wrong place or were too soon or too late or didn't happen at the right time. I had to fix all that, and I'm still kind of doing it, but I did most of the hard stuff. And lots of little changes, like I adjusted no 8 tags, which are like when lines get interrupted automatically, that was annoying people, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I adjusted them or removed them. There's more diegetic reminders to go to previous areas because backtracking wasn't always obvious. And then another big thing was that multiple sources can lead to the same information. If it unlocks something and it's like, oh, this one unlocks talking about this guy, but there were multiple things that talked about it, but for some reason only this one unlocked it, so I just made it so multiple things can unlock that.
Yeah, so part of the UI polish and everything was remaking this screen. So before it was more contained, and this is still a work in progress, but we are essentially making it more clear that it's like, okay, topics, profiles, you switch between them, making the list be larger and take up a little bit more of the screen so you can conceptualize the amount of information you have. And the profiles, which are like just funny. I don't know, like just
This took so many iterations.
Yeah, there were so many mock-ups and iterations of this, and it's still not done, but
Yeah.
It looks sick.
thank you.
We also, I just wanted to have different portraits for this because it was kind of annoying to have just a character sprite as the portrait, because then you just have the character sprite 2 times on a screen and it just bugs me.
Yeah. Oh, we also are changing the cursor, so that's also in our effort to make better UI UX. So now when you hover over something that you can interact with, it will highlight. And yeah, also now you can exit doors by clicking on them. Like it gives you the option of doing that. So you don't have to explicitly use the move screen.
Yeah.
And that's just for quality of life.
Yeah.
And we made the cursor a simple dot. It was a placeholder, but it turned out to look kind of cute. I don't know. So we just kept it.
Oh, and one thing that I was really asking for is to be able to tell the player when they've actually read a topic, when they've presented it to someone. So now there'll be this little check mark, and there'll be a little grayed out box, so you know that you've clicked it. You can click it again as many times as you want, but now you know that you've done that one, because there can be like 12 plus topics in a list, and it's hard to keep track of all
You
that
can
stuff.
say that you've done it.
Yeah, we did it.
Something to note about that real quick is also, sorry,
Flashback.
is that we can also refresh the topic. So
Oh,
for
right.
example, if you unlock information that relates to a specific topic, it will refresh and you won't see the check marks anymore, and that signals to you that, oh wait, there's something new here.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
yeah.
Also working on sprites. They're looking more interesting, more colorful, more cool, less placeholder. Yay. Oh, also this guy. So big to-do list stuff that's coming up. I want a menu that can collect clues for you to read later, because that sounds great. It's just a lot of work to do that. So it'll come at some point. I don't know, but I want it. So we actually were just talking about this. I want to actually implement this, like, so that you can click on doors to move, because it's not actually in the game. It's capable of being in the game. The tool is there. We just have to do
Just
the work.
missing one line.
Yeah. There's a big puzzle, like kind of a capstone puzzle at the end of the playtest. I want to make it a little bit more punchier, a little bit more cool.
Spoilers, it's about baseball.
Yeah. I want to finish all the basic sprites. So you saw some of the sprites. I'm gonna make way more. I want to draw better environments and finish all the cool UI for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any
Profit.
questions?
Any questions?
Right. Oh, Yada.
So are the new sprites for the characters like their social profile pictures?
You mean the profiles? That's a little bit what we're going for.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, the original idea for that screen, which is kind of shifted. It was styled a bit after Tinder, so it was like pictures of them. You were able to swipe and everything, but we kind of ditched that. But it is kind of evoking that. Yeah.
Brian.
You mentioned diegetic reminders to send people backtracking.
Mhm.
Realize. I know that diegetic typically, like music, can be things like music that's playing out of a radio in a scene. But is there particular types of things you mean by the diegetic?
Oh, mostly like dialogue, like players thinking, oh, this connects to something I saw before, or oh, I wonder what this character. If there's lots of like triggers that like that kind of thing wouldn't play if you had already seen the thing, but if you hadn't seen the thing and it makes sense for the character that you're playing to think of that thing, and be like, oh, I could go back there, because it's less about telling the player what to do and more reminding them that they can go somewhere. Yeah.
Second question. The profile sprites, the ones that you're making a bit different from the actual main game sprites,
Oh.
are they inspired? Is the shape of them inspired in any particular way by any particular art style, or? 'Cause I don't know why it reminds me of, like, I don't know if it's Aztec or something else kind of shape, kind of like totems or something like that. There's something about it that makes me think of.
Yeah. So
It's weird.
there's from what I know, I mean Nate drew them, but we didn't have like a particular inspiration when it came to them. However, we did mention geometric shapes while we were working on them, because it is a more like simplified style. It is meant to be a bit more graphic, since it interfaces with the UI of the game, which is very much about shapes and solid things. We didn't want it to be like the sprites, which are more organic shapes and more detailed. So these are more angular and kind of like the silhouette needs to tell you everything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he basically said it. So I just thought geometric stuff is fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? No.
Nothing else? Okay. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Next up, to talk about some stuff happening and some sad shit. Me. Let me set up the thingy. Right. Zup gamers, it's your boy with some progress updates. First, the sad shit out of the way. I'm no longer working for Spelkollektivet, and I will be leaving soon. This is probably my last SGDC presentation. And now the cool stuff. So, my last project for Spell is almost finished. Here's a preview of that. Ooh, I wonder what that is, right? And now it's some more cool stuff. Wait, did you hear that? I thought I heard placeholder, because yeah, I'm working there now. I'm helping out with marketing stuff. I did some very, very cool stuff for placeholder. I'm working on a marketing plan for Craft. I know I'm not technically in an NDA, but I like to tease you, so haha. I'm also incredibly proud of my very incredible tweets and meme posting on the main accounts. And I've also been working on, remaking the websites for Craft. I have completely revamped and rebuilt the page. It now looks much better. It has an embedded thing where you can wishlist the game on Steam if you haven't done that already. Let's continue that. And besides that, I've been working on other people's project, kind of like as a side thing. Nightmare House, the original mod, got re-released. It's a very old Half-Life 2 mod that came out in 2010. It got re-released last month to very good reception. Thank God. I was in the localization team as well. But I'm also working on their next project, and I thought I would share a little trailer for that. Got presented some time ago, but I wasn't technically onboarded yet. Please. is also out now. Should do that. And with that, this is not more so of a goodbye, more like see you soon, whenever that goes out. I'll try and be there for the release party of Craft, of course. January 8th. Yeah. Got any questions? Ask it now or be in doubt forever.
When are you planning on leaving?
When?
Yes.
December 22nd. No more questions?
Do you have any idea like what you want to do next?
So there is a very vague plan at the moment. Depending on whether or not my period with placeholder is short or long term, I plan on studying at Malmo University, continue my study there. If not, I'm gonna go back to Italy and study there instead. I would very much rather stay here in Sweden because the level of education here is way better. But it won't be the end of the world, pretty much. More questions?
What are you studying, or what will you be studying?
I'm probably going to study design, UI/UX design. That's the goal. More questions? Be in doubt forever. Thank you. Next up, to talk about some ambient sound for Broken Alliances, Brian.
Thank you. This was a very, very last minute addition.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, because I thought there were so few people signed up for SGDC, I thought I'd share something very dry and boring today. So, I'm working on Broken Alliance and Craft, but I've been working on Craft a lot recently because of all of the voiceover we had to do and get in the game, but I noticed when I was playtesting the early access map for Broken Alliance that where are all my ambient zones that I had in the demo? But it's an entirely new map and none of the programmers had drawn new ambient zones in Unity, which is what is being demonstrated here. This is the entire world map of Broken Alliance, broken down into a few regions. This is slightly spoilery, but it's very zoomed out, so it's not too bad. All of the green lines here are all collision kind of, or 2D polygon colliders, I believe they're called in Unity. That are associated with ambient zones, which are the kind of general ambiences of the different 4 factions, and the neutral area are demonstrated. You can see the mouse, right? So this is the Phobos area, this is the central like neutral area, this is Paradise over here, Anchorage and Forge. And these wider areas are where the general ambience plays. This is like this kind of very large kind of green box here. And these smaller ones are what I call ambient bustles. Now, these are kind of the smaller localized areas for like Phobos Town or the Phobos Lava Pits or Forge City or the Forge Peaceful Meditation Park, which is in the middle of here. So when your player moves within these zones, the Fmod, which is what I'm using to kind of control all of this, it triggers Fmod events that load different ambiences and fades them in and fades out other ones, based on what I believe is like a collider that is around the player controller or the player sprite. There's a collider that when this collides with the invisible kind of colliders for the ambient zones, it triggers those things. Originally we had a much larger collider around the player that actually it would be very awkward when you entered a zone where the ambient zones were close together, that it would trigger a thing and then untrigger a thing and then trigger a thing. So I had to make it much smaller so that it was more nuanced. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I can't believe they let me actually in Unity to mess around because usually I'm never anywhere near it. But I introduced kind of a folder structure as well, dividing things into larger ambient areas, named logically in a way, so if there's a problem with them, they can be easily found what the source of the problem is. And then the localized bustles as well, towns and pollution regions and such, and that's just my neurotic kind of organized brain needed to organize everything. Other than that, that's pretty much what I've been working on Broken Alliance. I was finishing off some sounds for Craftcraft. I'm now officially finished all of the audio for Craftcraft, and what I'll be doing from now on is playtesting Craftcraft as much as possible. And hopefully we can get some builds out for people to playtest as well in the near future as well. Also playtesting Broken Alliance as much as possible when there's new builds. Does anybody have any questions about any of this? I know it's probably a bit more dry than I usually kind of share. Yeah, Pierce?
When you say you're fading out the ambience and fading one in it, is it individual noises that are fading out, or maybe a bird stops singing, or is it just you take the entire track and you just fade it and fade in a new one?
With the, okay, let me mention that it's not individual sounds. Each event contains a whole set of sounds that are playing. Like there may be instances of a bunch of bird sounds that trigger randomly at randomized times within the event. There may be the sound of a river looping in this event, and there may be a bunch of other things. Within the bustles, that is the case. With the wider ambient areas, it's literally I made a looping kind of wider ambience in like audio software and just designed it all in audio software. It's just a flat thing that just loops, and that will always play. The wide ambient zone will always play underneath whatever the bustles are. So, but I have set it up that this is answering more of your question you required, because I just have a habit of doing this. If you're in the Anchorage area, it will play the wide ambient for Anchorage, but when you move into an Anchorage town, it will lower the volume of the wider ambience from Anchorage by about 50%, and then play the localized town sound over it, so that there's room for the outside environment to be heard as well as the kind of local area. So you get a bit of a shifting between the different environments, and the player feels like they're in a more life-filled world, because at the end of the day it's pixel art and there's very limited animations going on. So I do a lot of heavy lifting with the audio to just kind of say, oh, this is way more immersive. I hope I do anyways. That's the idea. Yeah. Any other questions? I hope I don't give a long-winded answer to. Okay, thank you.
There's been another last-minute addition. Next up, to say what's up is Martin. I think I know what this is about.
What's up, gamers? Yeah. Okay. So this is a very last-minute thing because I'm going away for Christmas during this weekend, and I was like, yeah, might as well make a thing before I leave. Also, to actually make a presentation this year. Because I've been kind of dodging it. So it is about a project. Some of you might know. I make a game. I'm here to make a game, and that is Syntaxia. That's published by the house, and we've been recently working on a demo, and we've been also working on an itch page for the demo.
Is this a secret link?
Yeah. This is the secret that Matteo mentioned.
No, the secret link.
The secret link? I just got to log in.
I got you, bro.
Oh no.
You're wasting time.
Wait, why is it not working?
Because you didn't send the secret link. Here, I just sent it.
Okay. Alright, that works too. Alright, this is the itch page. This is the reason why I haven't slept much for the past couple of days. I've been working on this with the help of Matteo as well. On this. This is an itch page. It took a whole lot of CSS customization to make it look like this. Also, yeah, there's gonna be a trailer that you're gonna see next week, maybe sometime when the demo's gonna come out. Yeah, here you can actually play the game in the browser. You can also just download it on the top. And yeah, there's a wishlist button. Look, it glows. Crazy stuff. Crazy tech. It even swaps sprite when you press it. Yeah. So yeah, it's this thing took a lot a lot of work. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. I had a bunch of older versions as well to show that I thought I screenshotted, but turns out I didn't screenshot it. Other than this one screenshot of me trying to
I can put in
figure out scaling.
I think I have something.
Yeah, you might also have the really old versions.
I have them all.
Yeah, there was like a couple versions we went through with Mattel, and then I had an idea for like, because the main mechanic of the game, right, is you change words and it reflects the changes in the world around you, right? And that's when I had the idea for this header, where you can like, it's like changing words, you're typing it, and it changes the outcome of the little preview, the little window of the world outside. So yeah, like
it's the very first version.
this was the very first version that we had. This was like it was very bright on the eyes. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's cool. I kind of wanted to do something similar with the Steam page, but Steam doesn't give you nearly amount of customizability as Itch does, which, like, honestly, it's so cool that Itch lets you actually customize the page to this point, where you can just change up the whole CSS and HTML.
You know, it would be
I
even
love
more
that.
cool if it actually documented half of the shit we have to use.
Yeah, it is. It can be a little stingy sometimes, but it's pretty dope. But yeah, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show this. Just say like, hey, there's gonna be a demo sometimes within the week, and probably another SGDC, but it's gonna be remote. It's gonna be a video thingy, majig, and yeah, that's it. Any questions? Yeah.
Coming back.
Hmm?
When are you coming back?
January, some day of January, probably. Yes, Brian.
I don't know if you can tell me, is the demo a kind of more refined version of what you did for the game jam, or is there a different, slightly different area, or I don't know what?
Yeah. It is a more refined version of the game jam thing, more refined with more mechanics. It is like an early demo. That's why it's not on Steam. We're just doing Itch first. There's gonna be a proper demo that we're gonna do on summer, the Steam Fest, whatever. That one's gonna have all of the mechanics represented. It's gonna be more of a vertical slice, right? Yep. All right, that's it.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
So that was the last one of our all-night presentation. If you're watching from home, this is your call to come over here and view them yourself, because this one is very, very exclusive. I do promise that. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in, and come next week for next SGC. Thank you.